Shalom, shalom, mishpachah. Today's lesson will be Torah Parsha Akev. It will be Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12 through chapter 11, verse 25, with the Half-Torah being Yeshayahu, chapters 49, verse 14 through chapters 51 and verse 3. Okay? All right. So as before, let's go ahead and say our prayers and our petitions, our morning petitions. All right, and go ahead and get started. So we'll start off with the Shema as always. So we'll go here. It's Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. That is the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Baruch Shem Kavach Ma'tu Le'elam Va'et. V'havta et Hashem Elahaka, Bosko Laska, Osko, Naska, Osko Modeka. V'hayuha Devarim Asher Hale Asher Anoki Mezoka Hayam Alaveka. Right? Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. All right? And we will say our prayers for Israel, the nation, before we get started. Bring us back, our Father, to your Torah, and bring us near, our Sovereign, to your service, and influence us to return to complete repentance before you. Benevolent are you, he that causes to exist, who desires repentance. Forgive us, our Father, for we have transgressed. Pardon us, our Sovereign, for we have willfully transgressed, for a pardoner and forgiver are you. Benevolent are you, he that causes to exist, the gracious one, who abundantly forgives. Heal us, he that causes to exist, then we will be healed. Save us, then we will be saved. For the one we praise is you. Bring healing that is complete for all our ailments, for our power and sovereign healer, who is faithful and compassionate, are you. Benevolent are you, he that causes to exist, who heals the sick of his people, Israel. Shalom, abundantly upon Israel, your people established forever. For it is you who are sovereign, master of all shalom. May it be good in your eyes to increase your people, Israel, at every time, at every hour, with your shalom. Right? Baruch Hashem. Okay. Now we will get into the Torah portion. All right. And I'm going to upload some other prayers just for the Mispakah, so that you prayers for women and for men, for prayers that to pray to get demons off of you, or to remove evil spirits off of people, etc. So be on the lookout for those. Okay. So I will be posting more of that. We will be showing more videos about the African ancestry of Israel and going into the African history of the Arachukwu Wars and of the other African wars and the different tribes of Africa, and which ones are Israelites and which ones are the Jebusites like the Ijibu, which one are Edomites like the Edoma and the Edo tribes in Nigeria. Okay, so we will be having videos and going into depth of those, all right? So today's lesson, though, it is called Akev. It is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12 through chapter 11, verse 25. Okay, and then the Half-Torah portion will be Yeshayahu, chapter 49, verses 15 through chapter 51, verse 3. Okay, and so we will start now in Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we will start off at verse 12. Right, so verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass, if you listen to my voice, to do these judgments and to guard and do them, that he that causes to exist your power shall guard you in the contract and agreement and unmerited favor which he swore to your fathers. Right? So what does he say right here? If you guard and do them, guard and do them. So keep and do is an idiomatic expression for Torah keeping, right? So when he says guard and do that, that's an idiom for Torah keeping, for the Torah, right? And the unmerited favor which he swore to your fathers, this is the Hebrew word shubah, meaning that he that causes to exist has sworn unto self 7 times. The contract is irrevocable and must be fulfilled. Rescue is already guaranteed an unmerited favor unto Israel if they obey the Torah. So see, your merited favor and your rescue, repentance, your salvation is already programmed into the contract and the agreement. You just have to keep your end of the contract and the agreement that our forefathers swore, which was to keep the Torah, which was to guard the Torah, and to in the contract and the agreement. And if you do those things, you have the unmerited favor which the Most High swore to our forefathers that we would have. It's irrevocable. It cannot be replaced, and it cannot be done away with. It is a contract and an agreement. The Most High will keep his end once we keep our end. Okay? Verse 13. And he will love you and increase you and multiply you. And he will increase you with many children and the fruit of your land, your corn and your wine and your oil, the offspring of your oxen and the flocks of your sheep, in the land which he swore to your fathers to give to you. Right? So it says he will love you and increase you and multiply you. This will be a large extended family, implying multiple wives, as in a patriarchal lifestyle and as many children. Right? That's why he says right here, I will multiply you and will increase you. Right? The increase only comes via patriarchal plural marriage and not monogamy. The monogamy is Satan's model. Okay, and you can go back into all the way up into the Genesis, and you can see that. Okay, Satan has one wife called a whore, and that's what they see in the book of Revelations. You go to Revelation 17:1, the great whore. That's Satan's wife. He only has one because that's Satan's. Monogamy is Satan or the adversary's family structure. Right. Then verse 13 also says, increase you with many children. Right? So, the increase of many children entails plural marriages, which Israel understood and practiced. That's the only way that they multiplied, okay? Now, verse 14, and you shall be increased above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And he that causes to exist will take away from you all the sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, Mitzrayim, which you know about, but will lay them upon all them that hate you. Let me read that again. And you shall be increased above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. What did he just say above in verse 13? I will multiply you. I will increase you, your cattle, your land, and the fruit that comes from the land. And he that causes to exist will take away from you all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim, which you know about, but will lay them upon all them that hate you. And you shall conquer all the people which he that causes to exist your power shall give you. Your eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shall you serve their powers, for that will be a trap for you. New Testament, Yahshua. This is why I tell people that the only way that they could conquer Israel and trap us is if they gave us another power to serve instead of the Most High, and they did that with the New Testament, the new story of the good spell, etc. Right? And right here it says, serve their powers. I have a side note that says, any power or Gentiles that can bind us, and that includes their marriage laws, or marriage licenses. Powers here can also be related to men who hold authority to enforce certain state laws that can trap us from breaking the Most High, he that causes to exist, commandments. Right? So power here doesn't always refer to a deity. It also can refer to a man who has the authority to try to force us to breaking the Most High's commandments. Okay? It also, too, the marriage licenses, right? Because the marriage licenses here, they're unfair. Marriage here is unfair. It's not under the guise of the Most High. It's not per the Most High's laws. It's not per the Most High's commandments, his statutes and judgments. So therefore, it's a trap. There's a power that is used. Also, their marriage license and certificates is used to trap Israelites, right? Take their wealth. They give the women the freedom to leave. They take their wealth. You lose half of everything that you built up, right? Have to start over from scratch. Verse 17. Verse 17. If you shall say in your heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? You shall not be afraid of them, but shall well remember what he that causes to exist your power did to Pharaoh and to all the Mizraim. The great temptations which your eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby he that causes to exist your power brought you out. So shall he that causes to exist your power do to all the people of whom you are afraid. Moreover, he that causes to exist your power will send the hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from you be destroyed. You shall not be afraid of them, for he that causes to exist your power is among you, a mighty power and awesome. And he that causes to exist your power will expel these nations before you by little and little. You may not destroy them all at once, lest the animals of the field overrun you. But he that causes to exist your power shall give them to you, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. And he shall give their sovereigns into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under Shamayim. There shall no man be able to stand before you until you have destroyed them. The graven images of their powers you shall burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is in them, nor take it to you, lest you be entrapped therein, for it is an abomination to he that causes to exist your power. Read that again. Verse 25. The graven images of their powers you shall burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it to you, lest you be entrapped therein, for it is an abomination to he that causes to exist your power. Neither shall you bring any abhorrent thing into your house, into your bed, lest you become object of the set apart wrath, and you must abhor it, for it is a detestable thing. Chapter 8, verse 1. All the commandments which I command you this day you shall observe to do, that you may live and exceedingly increase and go in and possess the land which he that causes to exist swore to your fathers, to your avot. And you shall remember all the way which he that causes to exist your power led you these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you and to prove you, and to know what was in your heart, whether you would guard his commandments or not. And he humbled you and served you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did your avot, your fathers, know, that he might make you know that men will not live by lachem, bread only, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of he that causes to exist will man live. Verse 4. Your clothes did not wear out, neither did your feet swell these 40 years. Right? So it says that their clothes didn't wear out and their feet did not swell for the 40 years, right? That right there is an amazing miracle in itself, that neither the clothes nor their shoes wore out in 40 years. That right there is a miracle that the Most High did, and to prove to Israel that he was our power. Okay? That in itself was a miracle. Verse 4, your clothes did not wear out, neither did your feet swell these 40 years. You shall also consider in your heart that as a man chastens his son, so he that causes to exist your power chastens you. All those people that be like, well, why would the Most High allow this and that, etc. to happen? Well, because we are his son. And as he said, as a man chastens his son, so he that causes to exist your power chastens you. The Most High loves us, so he has the right to chasten us. He has the right to discipline us, just like a father has a right to discipline his son out of love. Okay? Verse 6. Therefore you shall keep the commandments of he that causes to exist your power, to keep the halakha, the commandments, and his halachot, his ways of Torah, and to fear him. Right? So halakha and the ways of Torah. This is all the commandments in the Torah are valid for all times. As for the temple-related sacrifices, these we are not able to do now without a temple. However, we are able to do the others which do not require a temple. We can follow the lead of the prophet Daniel, who kept them while in exile in Iraq. When the millennium temple is built in the millennium, then the sacrifices shall resume. Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? When he says, verse 6, his halakha and his ways, and to fear him, right? Daniel is the standard, and what he did in Babylon, he kept the from eating any unclean thing, and he prayed 3 times a day, right? Okay, he is the standard of what you do in captivity. Okay. Now, verse 7. For he that causes to exist your power brings you into a good land, a land of brooks of Mayim, water, of fountains and depths that spring out of the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land wherein you shall eat bread without scarcity. You shall not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you can mine copper. So right there he's telling you about our land, right? Our land, the stones in our land has plenty of iron and plenty of copper, right? Plenty of minerals, mineral rich area. So the land of Israel, our ancient land, is mineral rich in minerals. It has salt, it has copper, it has iron, okay? Iron to make steel, copper to, if I'm not mistaken, copper and steel make bronze or something like that. We have minerals in our land. Verse 10, when you have eaten and are full, then you shall thank he that causes to exist for the benefit, for your power, for the good land which he has given you. Right? Now, I have a note here that says, blessed is a pagan root word from be less. It is not a word that we can use towards Eloah, or the Most High, or Elohai. We have no power to give him anything. In fact, we need to praise and thank him for his providence, right? So we don't have any power to give him anything. So everything that we receive needs to be thanks in his name and thanks to him, right? And it says, for your power, for the good land which he has given you. The Hebrew people say a prayer after being full, as he that causes to exist commanded us to eat, then be thankful. We do not say our prayer, say a prayer over our food before we eat, but afterwards. Okay. The benediction before meals is very short, and a long prayer before meals is unscriptural and not done by Israelites. This is the Christian pagan way of doing a long prayer before. So keep that in mind. We do a long prayer afterwards. Be thankful for the nutrients and the providence that he has provided for us and the nourishment for our bodies. Okay. Verse 11. Beware that you forget not he that causes to resist your power, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command you this day. Repeat it again. Beware that you forget not he that causes to exist your power, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command you this day. Right? So even though the Most High repeats himself so many times about obedience, many who belong to churches do not want to know and obey the Torah. So judgment is coming on them and those Israelites who refuse the Torah. Okay? There is a repercussion for not keeping the commandments. The results are that there will be no rewards in the kingdom to come and no positions of authority. What they will receive is the status of a slave for disobedience. Not to mention missed opportunity for the first resurrection also. All right. Now, I'm going to read verse 11 again. Beware that you forget not he that causes to exist your power, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes. So it's 3 commandments, judgments, and statutes, which Moses commanded us that day. Beware that you forget not the judgments, not the commandments, not the statutes. Lest when you have eaten and are full and have built good houses and dwelt therein, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart will be lifted up, and you forget he that causes to resist your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Mizraim, from the bed of slavery, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were poisonous snakes and scorpions and drought, where there was no water. Who brought you forth water, Mayim, out of the rock of flint? Right? So right here Moses is asking them, who gave you water out of a flint rock? There's amazing now with this there is an amazing side um, mystery in this. Israel gives thanks after they are full, but not before meals as Christians do, right? Hold on. Yeah, as Christians do, right? Um, the mention of poisonous snakes and scorpions is a picture of the world that the Hebrew Israelites is facing right now. These are satanic forces such as radical Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and other oppressors of the world system. But Israel gives thanks right at the end of the meal. Why is that? So that they glorify the Most High, He that causes to exist, when He saves them completely through the Messiah that He's going to send. They come to experience His goodness first and see the fullness before they all give thanks to He that causes to exist for what is yet to come. We are shown a glimpse of that in Zechariah chapter 12, verse 10, when Israel cry at not recognizing or realizing all along that the Most High is the only Savior. The Christians give thanks before their meals because they will come to the revelation first as a prophetic house of Israel, since this is the requirement of Jeremiah 31 and 33. However, Israel's Torah keepers are also going to enter the kingdom and not going to be left out. In fact, they will enter first. They do not need the gospel of Christianity and their lawless Messiah, as Christian fathers have decided, because Judah already has He that causes to exist on their side. The contracts require this deal on He that causes to exist in to be upheld, which He will. All right? Now, we're on to verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 16. Who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your avot, your fathers, knew not, that He might humble you, and that He might prove you, to do you good at the latter end? And you say in your heart, my ability and the strength of my hand has gotten me this wealth. But you shall remember He that causes to exist your power, for it is He that gives you power to get wealth, that He may establish His contract and His agreement, which He swore to your fathers, as it is this day. Now, I have a footnote here that I wrote. It says, our well-being, our wealth, in fact, everything we have is dependent on the trustworthiness of He that causes to exist, to the contract He made with our forefathers. We only receive the increase by being part of that contract and fulfilling the obligations of it. So everybody's saying that they don't have to keep the laws and that they're wealthy and this and that. Who gave them their wealth? Because it was not the Most High. Because you get your wealth and you get everything by fulfilling the contract and the agreements that our forefathers did. Okay? So, there's a verse that says that although the wicked prosper, they don't consider their end. This is why, because they think that their wealth comes from the Most High, but they keep nothing in the contract or the agreement that would make the Most High give them that, bestow that wealth upon them. All right? It's verse 19. And it shall be, if you do at all forget He that causes to exist your power, and do the halakha of other powers, which is the laws of other powers, and serve them, and pay homage to them, I testify against you this day, that you shall be utterly destroyed. And it shall be, if you do at all forget He that causes to exist your power, and do the halakha, which is halakha is laws of other powers. Remember, powers can be deities of the men in positions of authority, like i.e. Catholic Church, etc. Of other powers, and serve them and pay homage to them, I testify against you this day, that you will surely be destroyed. And when it says surely be destroyed, it just means that you will perish from a lack of increase. Okay? Perish from a lack of increase. So if you're not being increased, that means you're being decreased, which means he's taking things away. Right? Verse 20. As the nations which he that causes to exist destroyed in front of you, so shall you perish. See? The same way that he destroyed the Canaanites before us, the same way he destroyed the Egyptians before us, he took things from them until they be destroyed. It's the same thing he will do to Israel if you do not keep the statutes and commandments, and if you go following the laws of other powers. All right? So shall you perish, because you will not be obedient to the voice of he that causes to exist your power. Chapter 9, verse 1. Shema, listen, Israel, you are to pass over the Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than yourself, cities great and fenced up to Shemaim, heaven. Right? So he said, listen, Israel. So when they say Shema, he's saying pay attention to something very important. Shema, listen, pay attention. This is very important. Verse 2. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakim, whom you know about, and of whom you have heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? And that was a common proverb, right, in the ancient times. Who can stand before the children of Anak? And that is seen in the Targum of Jonathan, right? The Targum of Jonathan. Verse 3. Understand therefore this day that he that causes to resist your power is he who goes over before you as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before your face. So you shall drive them out and destroy them quickly, as he that causes to resist has said to you. Do not say in your heart, after that, he that causes to resist your power has cast them out from before you, saying, For my right ruling, he that causes to resist has brought me into possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations, he that causes to resist will drive them out from before you. So what do you get from right here when he says, don't boast in your heart, saying because of my right ruling, because of my Torah keeping is the reason why the Most High kicked them out. Don't say that, right? Self-boasting in Israel is not considered good. Even when he that causes to resist destroys our enemies, we are to remember the reasons why. Because of their transgression and not our good deeds. That is the reasons why. He that causes to resist mercy to those idolatrous nations has ended. Due to their endless wickedness, the price of wickedness will be both troubles here and in the world to come. So keep that in mind. I will read that again. Self-boasting in Israel is not considered good. Even when he that causes to resist destroys our enemies, we are to remember the reasons why. Because of their transgression and not our good deeds. He that causes to resist mercy to those idolatrous nations has ended, due to their endless wickedness. The price of wickedness will bring both troubles here and in the world to come. All right? Now, back to verse 3. We're on verse 4. Actually, we're on verse 5, okay? Verse 5. Not for your right ruling or for the uprightness of your heart do you go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations that he that causes to resist your power will drive them out from before you, and that he may perform the word which he that causes to resist swore to your avot, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Understand, therefore, that he that causes to resist your power does not give you this good land to possess it for your right ruling. For you are a stubborn people. And we see that today. We have Old Testament Israelites pointing out and proving to these New Testament believers that Christ is an idolatrous idol, and yet they are still stubborn. Verse 7. Remember and forget not how you provoked he that causes to resist your power to wrath in the wilderness. For the day that you did depart out of the land of Mizraim until you came to this place, you have been rebellious against he that causes to exist. Also, in Horeb, you provoked he that causes to exist to wrath, so that he that causes to exist was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tablets of stone, even the tablets of the contract/agreement, which was the 10 Commandments, which he that causes to exist made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. Right here, Moses fasted with the help of he that causes to exist for 40 days and 40 nights. This is not Lent and has nothing to do with it. All right, so those are trying to say this is where Lent comes from. Nope, they're liars. This is false. Moses was able to fast for 40 days and 40 nights with the help of the Most High. Nobody else can do that right now. You will die if you try to do that. Right? That was the divine providence that the Most High gave to Moses, to Moshe, and to show Moshe that he is with him and that he has chosen him. Okay. Now we move on to chapter 10. Not chapter 10. We are at verse 10. I'm sorry, 9 and 10. And he that causes to exist gave to me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of Elohim. And on them was written according to all the words which he that spoke with you in the mount of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. Now, when it says the finger of Elohim, you have a lot of New Testament believers say this was Joshua, and this further than the case. This was the angel of the Most High. Okay, the angel of the Most High wrote the finger of Elohim. Okay, now, verse 11. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that he that causes to exist gave me the 2 tablets of stone, even the tables of the contract/agreement. And he that causes to exist said to me, Arise, go down quickly from hence, for your people, which you have brought forth out of Mizraim, have corrupted themselves. They have quickly turned aside out of the way which I have commanded them. They have made themselves a molten image. Now you notice right here in this verse, the Most High says, Most High said to me, Arise, go down quickly from this, for your people. He calls them Moses' people. Earlier it was his people, where he's so pissed off and mad at us, he calls them, man, my people, man. Go get your people, man. Go down into your people. And it says, because the people transgress, the Most High dispossesses the people and calls them Moses' people. Because we transgress him, man, them ain't my people, man. Go get your people, man. They ain't holy no more. They already done defiled themselves. So since they defiled, they ain't my people right now. They have to go through a whole cleansing act for them to become a people again. They have quickly turned aside out of the way. Ha-dorek. Ha-dorek. The way. Right? Ha-dorek. They turned out of the ha-dorek. They turned out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molten image. Furthermore, he that causes to exist spoke to me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, they are a stubborn people, just like today. Because you can give people, New Testament believers, 2 or 3 witnesses proving things, and what will they do? They will always revert back to Luke, Mark, John, Acts, Thessalonians, Corinthians. Verse 14, let me alone, that I may finish them off and blot out their name from under Shamayim, and I will make of you a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the 2 tables of the contract agreement were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, you had transgressed against he that caused to exist your power, and had made yourselves a molten calf. You had turned aside quickly out of the way, ha-dorek, which he that causes to exist has commanded you. Right? And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before he that causes to exist, as at the first, 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins, transgressions, which you transgressed, in doing wickedly in the sight of he that causes to exist, to provoke him to anger. So this is the second time Moses fasted 40 days and 40 nights, praying and interceding for Israel's stubbornness. So in total, Moses fasted a total of 80 days. 80 days. Most High said there wasn't no one like Moses. It wasn't a man meek as Moses, and it never will be as him. He fasted 80 days for our forefathers' sins and transgressions while he was up on the mount. He didn't even do anything. He didn't sin. He didn't transgress. The people did, but yet he's fasting 40 days, fasting another 40 days. Man, if I could just have an inkling of the meekness that Moses had and the loving and caring that Moses had for his people. Verse 19, for I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure, not just displeasure, but hot displeasure, wherewith he that causes to exist was extremely angry and against you to destroy you. So the Most High wasn't just mad, he was hot. But he that causes to exist listened to me at that time also, the meekest man Israel ever produced. And he that causes to exist was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And he wanted to kill Aaron. Why? Because Aaron should have stood up to the people and told them as the Levite high priest. No. Aaron knew right from wrong, but he placated to the people. And it's the same thing that you see going on right now. People placating to the people of the New Testament instead of telling them the honest truth. It is idolatry. And I petitioned for Aaron also the same time. And I took your transgressions, the calf which you had made, smashed it, and then burnt it with fire, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust into the stream that descended out of the mount. And at Teberah, and at Massah, and at Kibruth Hatavah, you provoked he that causes to exist to wrath. Likewise, when he that causes to exist sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you. Even then you rebelled against the commandment of he that causes to exist your power, and you believed him not, nor paid any attention to his voice. Now, you go into all these groups right now, especially these Israelite dating groups. And the biggest thing right now is the whole poly and the whole Israelite men, this and that, etc. Now, is the Torah the Most High's voice? Now, everybody that has a problem with it or tries to curtail or find a workaround, are you not doing the same thing our forefathers did and not paying any attention to his voice that he had, that he gave to Moses, that Moses wrote down? You have been rebellious against he that causes to exist from the day that I took pity of you. So the day that he took pity, you've been rebellious ever since then, and we continue to be rebellious ever since. Thus I fell down before he that causes to exist 40 days and 40 nights. As I fell down at the first, because he that causes to exist had said he would destroy you. So right here is the proof you have two separate fasts of 40 days and 40 nights. The allusion here is to 80 Yom Kippurim. This could be the time they were in Egypt when they could not perform their annual feast, right? Verse 26, I petitioned therefore the he that causes to exist and said, Adonai, Yahweh, destroy not your people and your inheritance, which you have redeemed through your greatness, which you have brought up out of Mitzrayim by your mighty hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob. Look not at the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their transgression. lest the country from where you brought us out say, because Yahweh, who was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to destroy them in the wilderness. Yet they are your people and your inheritance, which you brought out by your mighty power and by your stretched out arm. Right here, Moses is switching the motive to they are your people and pleading the contract and reminding the Most High, these not my people, Most High. I know you told me to say go down to go see your people, Moses, but these not my people. These are your people. This is your inheritance. Remember, you claim these people for your inheritance. They are yours. Chapter 10, verse 1. At that time, he that causes to resist said to me, carve out for yourself 2 tablets of stones like the ones before, and come up to me into the mount, and make yourself an ark of wood. And I will write on the tablets the words that were in the first tablets which you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and carved out 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tablets in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables according to the first writing the 10 commandments which he spoke to you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And he that causes to resist gave them to me. And I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be as he that causes to resist commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Baruch of the children of Yakan to Mosera, where Aaron died, and there he was buried. And Eleazar his son ministered in the Kohen's office in his stead, the high priest. From there they journeyed to Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Yatbatha, the land of rivers of Mayim, rivers of water. And at that time he that causes to resist separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the contract of agreement of he that causes to resist, to stand before he that causes to resist, to minister to him, and to benefit in his name to this day. Now this is where you get the separation, and where he consecrates all the Levites and have the Levites start to take their office, right? Because Aaron has died, and his son, his firstborn Eleazar, has taken his stead. Therefore Levi has no part or inheritance with his brethren. He that causes to exist is his inheritance, right? And this is why the Levites have, and the high priest had a power to make a decree and make decrees to for the whole nation of Israel to follow. Because if it comes from the high priest, then it comes from the Most High, because they have a direct line to the Most High as their inheritance. Okay? So the high priest, the Levites, they can make decrees. Hence Ezra. Ezra has made several decrees when they came out of Babylon, and the decrees were followed, and they were stood and they were binding. Why? Because he was a Levite. His portion was the Most High. So the chances are the decrees that he made came from the Most High, put the Spirit on him to make those decrees. Okay? So this is something the other thing. This is where the Islam Muslims get for their Ayatollah and their fatwas, etc. The fatwas. This is where they get their fatwas from. The authority for the fatwas come from, because our high priest, the Kohens, had the authority to make decrees that all Israel must follow. Right? Okay. So then this is where Islam get their fatwas from their Ayatollah, or their supreme leader, making decrees that the nation of Islam follows. Right? Verse 9. Therefore Levi has no part or inheritance with his brethren. He that causes to resist is his inheritance, according to he that causes to resist your power promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time 40 days and 40 nights. And he that causes to resist listened to me at that time also. And he that causes to resist will not destroy you. And he that causes to resist said to me, arise, take your journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land which I swore to their fathers to give to them. And now, Israel, what will he that causes to resist your power require of you? But to fear he that causes to resist your power, to keep his halakha in his way, and to love him, and to serve he that causes to resist your power with all your heart and with all your soul. That is the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Baruch Shem Maktut Le'elam Va'et. Right? With all your heart, mind, body, and soul. Love the Most High with all. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul. Right here, it's repeated right here, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what will the Most High your power require of you? Require. Not say you have the free will to do, but he requires it of you. He requires you to fear him. He requires you to keep his halakha in his way, his laws, his statutes and commandments. He requires you to love him. He requires you to serve him. He requires you to serve him with all your heart and all your soul. These are requirements. Okay? Verse 13. To keep the commandments of he that causes to resist and his statutes, which I command you this day for your good. For your good, Israel. Indeed, Shemaim and the highest Shemaim belong to he that causes to resist your power. The earth also, with all that there is in, right? The earth belongs to the Most High, not to Satan, as most people say, okay? And the heavens belong to the Most High, too. Most people like to say, well, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. They like to say, well, Satan runs the earth, this and that. That is a lie. The Most High still runs the earth. He just allows Satan to do, or the adversary to do what the adversary does and what the adversary was created to do, okay? Only he that causes to exist had a delight in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people as it is this day. Right? Because the Most High delighted in our forefathers, including their lifestyles. He delighted in Abraham. He delighted in Isaac. He delighted in Yaakov. Okay? He delighted in all of them, their lifestyles, the way their works, the things they did, the right ruling. He delighted in them. The patriarchal marriage model practiced by our forefathers, whom many in Christianity and even some who call themselves Israelites call evil today, are standing to be judged. They are committing a grave transgression against calling the Most High a liar, right? Because in essence, that's what they're doing, calling him a liar. They will stand accountable in the day of judgment and will have to answer for their transgressions. This is because they have judged the Torah, and in fact, the Torah will judge them and find them guilty of recklessness. Because why? Like I said earlier, the biggest thing is the multiple wives and all this and that, and the women trying to teach and this and that. But in the Torah, he explicitly has things for those. But the people who teach against those things and try to curtail this, the Torah will judge them in the day of judgment. On the Hadin, right? On the day of Hadin, the day of judgment, the Torah will bear witness against them, right? And then they will be counted out as liars for calling the Most High's word a liar. Okay? And his ways and his lifestyles a lie. And speaking against that, they will be held accountable for that. Verse 16. Therefore, circumcise the foreskin of your heart, right? And do not be stubborn anymore. For he that causes to resist your power is the supreme power of the powers and masters of the universe, a great El, a strong and awesome one, who respects not person nor takes reward. Right? He will execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow, and loves the foreigner and give him food and raiment. Right? Fatherless is deceased, bereaved, and all that. It doesn't mean that the mother and father split up and now she has custody of the child and the daddy doesn't come around. That doesn't mean fatherless. Verse 19. You shall love the foreigner, for you were foreigners in the land of Mizraim. You shall fear he that causes to resist your power. Him shall you serve, and to him shall you cling and swear by his name. Now, what does the New Testament say? The New Testament says that all those who call on the name of Yahshua shall be saved, right? But right here it says, you shall fear he that causes to resist your power. Him shall you serve, and to him shall you cling and swear by his name. Verse 21. He is your praise, and he is your power, that has done for you these great and terrible things which your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down into Egypt 70 persons, and now he that causes to resist your power has made you as the stars of heaven for multitude. Right? Chapter 11, verse 1. Therefore you shall love he that causes to resist your power, and keep his charge and his statutes and his judgments and his commandments all the days. And know you this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, but and which have not seen the chastisement of he that causes to resist your power, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles and his acts which he did in the midst of Egypt to Pharaoh, in the Pharaoh of the king of Mizraim, and to all his hand. Verse 4. And what he did to the army of Egypt, and their horses and their chariots, how he made the waters of the sea of reeds to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how he that causes to resist has destroyed them to this day. And what he did to you in the wilderness until you came into this place, and what he did to Dathan and Abram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of he that causes to resist, which he did. Therefore shall you keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that you may be strong and go in and possess the land, where you go to possess it, and that you may prolong your days in the land which he that causes to resist swore to your fathers to give to them, and to their seed, a land that flows with milk and honey. For the land where you are going to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from where you come out, where you sowed your seed and watered it with your feet as a garden of herbs. But the land where you go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinks water of the rain of heaven. A land which he that causes to resist your power cares for. The eyes of he that causes to resist your power are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even to the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if you listen carefully to my commandments which I command you this day, to love he that causes to resist your power, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that you may gather in your corn and your wine and your oil. Right? So when it says that I will give you the rain of your land in your due season, the first rain and the latter rain, this is a hint of remez, meaning of the early and later rains are meant to be the outpouring of the set apart spirit on Pentecost, right? So that is a remez hint, to that. Okay. Now, verse 15. And I will send grass in your fields for your cattle, that you may eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve other powers and pay homage to them. And then he that causes to resist wrath be ignited against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, lest you perish quickly from off the good land which he that causes to resist gives you. Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that ye may be as frontlets before your eyes. And you shall teach them your children, speaking of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. This is the commandment to pray the 3 times daily that occurs in Psalms, and you see all throughout Psalms, and you see Daniel doing. Okay. This also matches with the 3 sacrificial times of the tent of meeting. You have the morning sacrifice, the noon sacrifice, and the marab or evening sacrifice. Okay, that is where you get your 3 times a day. Those are the times that the Most High appears to receive his sacrifices. Okay, so that's why you see in our video the appointed times to pray. In the correct times to pray, you will see the morning, you will see noon, and you will see evening as the appointed times of prayer if you want your prayers heard. Okay? Now, We were at verse verse 20. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. That is the mezuzah. That your days may be multiplied, and that the days of your children in the land which he that swore to your fathers to give them as the days of Shemaim upon the earth. Now he says you must do 16 through 20, verses 16 through 20, that your days be multiplied. That is the key to longevity of life. Okay, keeping the commandments and following through verses 16 through 20. For it shall be that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which he that caused to resist swore to your fathers to give them, as the days of Shemaim upon the earth. For if you shall carefully keep all these commandments, which I command you to do them, to love he that causes to resist your power, to walk in all his halakha, and to cling to him, then will he that causes to resist drive out all these nations from before you, and you shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Pharat, which is the Euphrates, even to the utmost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for he that causes to resist your power shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread upon, as he has said to you. All right. Now that is for the Torah portion, and we will go on now to the Half-Torah, which is Yeshayahu, chapter 49, verses 14 through chapter 51, verses 3. Okay. So we'll go to Yeshayahu, chapter 49. So we will move Yeshayahu, chapter 49. This is Isaiah, chapter 49, verses 14. Verses 14 through Isaiah 51 and 3. So Isaiah 49 and 14 through Isaiah 51 and 3. All right. So we are here. We will get started. Yeshayahu, chapter 49, verse 14. But Zion said, he that causes to resist has forsaken me, and my sovereign, he that causes to resist, has forgotten me. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yes, they may forget, yet will I not forget you. Right? So the Most High said that he is not going to forget. Behold, I have given you upon the palms of my hand. Behold, I have graven you upon the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. Right? So what does the Most High mean when he says I have graven you upon the palms of my hand? Only Israel and not the church, right? The Yahudi, would imprint temporary engravings of Jerusalem on their hands. The engraving was something that would take place where different figures would be punctured upon the arms, hand, and forehead to do the temple or some other important religious principle. This is he that causes to resist way to remind Israel that he will never forget the contracts made with Israel. They are engraved upon the Most High, he that causes to resist. They are engraved upon his hands. So he will never forget us. Right? That's what he means when he says, but Zion, he said, he that when he says you are engraved, behold, I have graven you upon the palms of my hands. Right? So he can never forget us. Ever. Verse 17, your children shall make haste, your destroyers, and they that made you waste shall go forth of you. Lift up your eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together and come to you. As I live, says he that causes to resist, you shall surely clothe you with them all, as with an ointment, and bind them on you as a bride does. This right here, the Most High is telling you he's ready to take his bride, but he's waiting on us, right? He's ready to take his bride. Israel is his bride, both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of Judah, right? His two wives. He's ready to take his brides. Verse 19, for your waste and your desolate places and the land of your destruction shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants. For your waste and your desolate places and the land of your destruction shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallowed you up shall be far away. Right? So they're going to be far away. They won't be able to come into the land. The children whom you shall have after you have lost the other shall say again in your ears, this place is too narrow for me. Give place to me that I may dwell. Then shall you say in your heart, who has begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro? And who has brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These where had they been? Thus says the Master, he that causes to exist. Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and I will set up my banner to the people, and they shall bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. The Gentiles will bring us back. The Gentiles will bring us back. I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set my banner to the people, and they shall bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And sovereigns, kings, shall be your nursing fathers, and their queens your nursing mothers. They shall bow down to you with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of your feet. And you shall know that I am he that causes to exist, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Doesn't say wait for Yahshua, it says wait for the Most High. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive rescued? Now I want to go back where it says, and they, queens, shall be your nursing mothers, and they shall bow down for you. Right? It says the kings are not bowing down for worship, but bowing down in biblical culture means to submit to the decrees and customs of Israel. The kings are in effect bowing down to accept the Torah. The queens are in effect bowing down to accept the Torah and the patriarchal lifestyle Israel has been given by the Most High. Therefore, they submit to show they now accept this. This verse is closely tied with Genesis 49:8 and is yet to come to pass. So keep that in mind. That verse is tied with Genesis 49:8. Okay? Now, back to verse 25. But thus says he that causes to exist. Even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be rescued. For I will contend with him that contends with you, and I will restore your children. And I will feed them that oppress you with their own meat, and they shall be drunk with their own blood as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I, he that causes to exist, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Yaakov. Right? So it doesn't say that Yahshua is your Savior. It doesn't say that everybody's going to know that Yahshua is your Redeemer. It says that he that causes to exist. Right? He that causes to exist am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Yaakov. Chapter 50, Yeshayahu, Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 1. Thus says he that causes to exist. Where is the certificate of your mother's divorce, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? So where's the divorce paper? I put you away, but where's the divorce paper at? Just because I put you away doesn't mean I divorced you. I set you aside for you to get your mind right. And which, or tell me, who did I sell you to? What creditor did I sell you to? Behold, for your iniquities have you sold yourselves? And for your transgressions is your mother put away. Not divorced. You sold yourselves. He put us away, but he didn't divorce us. So that right there lets you know there's a difference between divorcing and put away. So you have all these women saying, well, he put me away. Okay, go back to your husband. You sold yourselves with your transgressions and your iniquities. Verse 2, therefore when I came, was there no man? When I called, was there none to answer? Is my hand shortened at all that I cannot redeem? Or have I no power to rescue? Behold, at my rebuke I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. The fish stinks because there is no water and dies for thirst. I clothe the heavens with blackness. I make sackcloth their covering. Master, he that causes to exist, has given me the tongue of the learned, that I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. He wakens morning by morning. He wakens my ear to hear as the learned. Master, he that causes to exist, has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious, neither turned away back. I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair. I hid not my face from shame and spitting. For the master, he that causes to exist, will help me. Therefore shall I not be confounded. Therefore have I set my face like a flint, and I know that I shall not be ashamed. He is near that justifies me. Who will contend with me? Let us stand together. Who is my adversary? Let him come near to me. Behold, master, he that causes to exist, will help me. Who is he that shall condemn me? Behold, they all shall wax old as a garment. The moth shall eat them up. Who is among you that fears he that causes to exist, that obeys the voice of his servant, that walks in darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of he that causes to exist, and stay upon his Elohim. Behold, all of you that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that you have kindled. Thus shall you have of my hand. You shall lie down in sorrow. Yeshayahu, Isaiah 51 and 1. Hearken to me, you that follow after right ruling, you that seek he that causes to exist. Look to the rock from where you were hewn, and to the hole of the pit you were dug from. Now, Yahshua, we were not hewn from the rock of Yahshua. We were not hewn from the rock of the New Testament. Therefore, that is idolatry. We were hewn from the Most High's rock, he that causes to exist. Verse 2, look to Abraham, your father, and to Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and increased him, and made him great. For he that causes to exist shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her wilderness like the garden of he that causes to exist. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Hearken to me, my people, and give ear to me, O my nation, for the Torah shall proceed from me, and I will make right ruling to rest for a light of the people. All right. Now, that was Yeshayahu, Half-Torah, Yeshayahu, chapters 49, verse 14, through chapter 51, and verse 4. Okay, that is the Torah portion of Avim. All right, and we hope that you had your Bibles with you. We hope that you were able to go follow us as we did it and got some understanding. And we encourage you to check out the other videos that we have posted up. The proper ways to pray, the appointed times, the Psalms 110, Psalm 16 and 10, Psalms 49 and 15, and a bunch of other things that we have here that we're showing Israel the correct way, and we're correcting some of the erroneous teachings that have been going out among Israel. So we implore you to check out those videos and to share these videos with your friends and family, and be on the lookout for the videos coming out. We are going to put up some prayer videos for you to say the prayers in Hebrew, and so you can get some things start to manifest in your life, because when you say it in Hebrew, it just hits totally differently. Okay, all right, and especially when you say those prayers in Hebrew at the appointed times, like for instance, the morning sacrifice, the evening sacrifice, and the noon sacrifice and the evening sacrifice. When you say those prayers in the Hebrew, it just hits different, and you will see that a lot of the things that you're asking for are being heard, and you're being given. Okay, so this is Brother Araya. I go by Araya Kazak. Signing out until the next video. Shabbat Shalom to all my Israelites. All right, Shema Israel, Hashem Alakanu, Hashem Akai. All praises to the Most High. Let the Most High's name be magnified throughout the earth. Let the Most High's name be praised, for he is worthy to be praised, and let his name be magnified. All right? All praises to the Most High. Baruch Hashem. Signing off. See you next Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.